so much for having me. My name is Saldin Kimangale. I'm a clinical psychologist residing in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm so grateful to be to take part in this important discussion on cultural consideration in clinical supervision. So, what counts as a culture in our settings? In Tanzania, culture is really about understanding the person you are working with, their backgrounds, their beliefs, their language, and identity. We have over 120 tribes. Kiswahili unites everyone. Usually, you don't directly ask someone their tribe. You notice it naturally through accent or ways of speaking. Religion and gender play a significant role in supervision. In Tanzania, these are the most sensitive aspects in interpersonal interaction. In some communities, for instance, men and women do not freely mingle or shake hands or hug, and religious practices and ceremonies are strongly observed and respected. So, for example, a Muslim colleague may pause for prayer, or a Seventh day Adventist may refrain from work on Saturdays without needing to apologize. Such practices are generally well understood and respected by both supervisors and supervisees. Where does this show up in supervision? It shows up in how clients express distress and also in the relationship between supervisors and supervisees. Different communities describe things like depression or grief or trauma differently. I once collected 56 different expressions of depression across Tanzania ethnic groups, which remind us that no single African experiences, that there is no single African experiences. Every individual have their own experiencing the distress and everything. So in supervision itself, culture affects communication. Culture affects how we schedule and how people relate to each other. Supervision here is mostly relational and flexible, but on mutual respect rather than restrictive protocols. And if you want to know what the supervisors are actually doing, supervisors and supervisees usually start by agreeing on how they will work together. There is a flexibility and openness from both sides. For example, if someone expects to attend a Jumu'ah prayer, or if someone is expected not to show up on Saturdays, these are the things that usually are put forward. So no one sees that as unusual. Supervisors also encourage discussion about how different communities understand experiences like trauma or loss or depression, because cultural differences or cultural understanding is central in helping clients as well here in our context. Is it a challenge? Honestly, most of the time it's not. It's not seen as a challenge. People often laugh about the differences, maybe different food traditions or accent or custom from neighboring regions. Here in Tanzania, there is a culture of mocking each other between certain tribes. For instance, the Chaga and the Pare, they are mocking each other, they are joking, and they can play joke about each other. Even in a very sensitive issues like funerals, they may still play jokes. So the only real issue is sometimes scheduling around prayers or holidays or family obligations. But these are small adjustments. They are not barriers. And if you ask how do supervisors organize or respond to these differences, usually the first session is about getting to know each other, where someone is from a faith background, and who they are. Sometimes this comes immediately or sometimes gradually during the process. They are not formal checklists of culture. It's about awareness, respect, and being willing to ask questions or to be asked and learn from each other. So if you ask me a takeaway, one important lesson is be a learner. Don't assume your framework already explained the person in front of you. Ask questions, be curious, and be open when something is unfamiliar. In Tanzania, with over 120 groups and many languages and faith, no one can know everything. What matters the most is humility, curiosity, and respect. Thank you so much. And